I jumped out of a plane 2 days ago, did my first skydive, tick off the bucket list. I had no fear, not 1 ounce of fear. Walked onto the plane, had to wait a while. I really had to wait a while. So I was getting really excited and hopped onto the plane. There's only a little tiny plane. And I got on and I was going to be the first one off. We went up and there was only this tiny little roller door between me and outside. There was even a gap. I could have just pulled it up and gone, ah! I didn't, of course. Or, I could have really panicked about it. Then there was a moment where after I hopped out of the plane, there's, I think the parachute had gone up, or there was a little bit of fiddling to get the parachute up. And I do recall this, and it must have been a split second where I looked down because I could feel the fiddling. And I thought, oh, if I'm going to die, that's going to be a great way to die, hey. But what I'm getting at is, and then it was gone, I was fine. I didn't worry about it. I had no fear. So, whereas if someone was really quite worried, they you could have worked yourself up so badly that you could have ended up having a panic attack. But I didn't have any fear. I just enjoyed it. And there's lots of feelings that come through because I had no idea what to expect. And it was a little... First up, I felt like I didn't know if I could breathe or not when you first come out because of the G-force. And then there was another dude that was jumping with us. So he came up. I tried to high-five him, but no. And then he went down because he was by himself, didn't have anyone, he wasn't doing a tandem jump. But then he went down, so I was watching and he flipped himself over and was like showing off, like on his back going, ha ha ha, like that. Anyhow, maybe my next jump, maybe not. But what I'm saying is, and these can create a lot of people that I've spoken to just did not want to jump, would say, no, I don't want to do it. And it'll be here because they've got fears of heights, fear of being out of control, fear of the unknown, because and fear of dying too, like the parachute not working. And it's certainly a risk, but it's still a risk to just walk outside and you can get hit by a bus. There's a risk to every single thing that we do. As soon as we hop into that car, there's a big risk. Driving out of that driveway, there's a big risk. So it's all similar. But what I'm saying is, when you don't have that fear, you can really live your life. So what can happen is what's stopping you? What's stopping you from doing something that you want? There's some kind of fear or limiting belief, and it gets stuck in your head. And it might have happened when you were 5. And maybe when you were that little 5-year-old, wanted to go and play with this group of kids. And the kids were like, no, we don't want to play or something. And then you get this, I'm not good enough because they didn't want to play with me. And then you grow up and you're still holding on to that belief that you're not good enough to go into that group. So if you've got this fear around stuff that's holding you back, these fears can be you can be holding on to for years, and you're not able to move forward. This fear could be stopping you from getting the dreamiest job, but you're too scared to ask for that money, but because you don't feel worthy and deserving of having that money or that dream job, or because it stemmed from that experience when you were 5. I can clear that. Boom. I can get rid of that for you. I can help you. Or what about that relationship? You're single, you want to mingle, and you're looking for that guy or that girl, but you just don't want to go out. You don't want to go and ask that person over there. You don't even go and start a conversation with that person over there, or you don't want to pick up the phone or text someone, because something's holding you back and it's some kind of fear. But if you didn't have that fear and you just went, I'll just have a crack, and lo and behold, that person turns around and starts talking to you, and you could end up together. How amazing would that be? Then, another scenario, you need a crown at the dentist, because this is my specialty, and you're so anxious, and you think, I just don't want to lie in that chair because I'm worried. I don't like lying back. I don't like the feeling. Don't like the feeling of out of control. What if that dentist is, all these thoughts are going around in your head, but you're also petrified too. And you've been putting that crown off for now 2 years. So now what happens is, because you've put that crown off for 2 years, your tooth is broken down so much more that now there's only 2 options left. 2 options, and that's a root, maybe not even a root canal, or it's getting the tooth out. And sometimes you're in so much pain, you just go, just take it out because I'm in so much agony, I just want the pain to go. Well, then you could have all that time in that 2 years that you were putting off because you were so fearful, I could have helped you release that experience, and you could have been on your way getting the crown rather than having the tooth out. More expense now, because you could either got to have a denture or you have nothing, then you push all your food onto the other side, breakdown of other teeth, more expense, or you put an implant in, more expense. So do you see where I'm getting at? I don't mean to bang on, but all this fear that we have that goes round and round in our head, keeps us awake at night, makes us anxious and worried and sick to the stomach sometimes because we're so worried and concerned. Fear holding us back in our life, that we're not able to enjoy this life. We're here for a good time and hopefully a long time. But if you're not able to enjoy because you're being held back, come on, give me a holler. Let's talk about it, because I'd love to help you. Bye. Especially even having a skydive.